going on, everybody? I'm your guy, Mr. Mark. Don't forget the Mr. when you say Mark. Welcome to another episode of Chop It Up. I'm here with a talented young creator from Jersey, good actor. He's out here making his moves. Or catch him on TV, commercials, wherever you want to see him, you're going to see him. You know what I'm saying? We have the Panini guy himself, the icon.
What's good?
Adams Desir. What's good, bro?
I'm all right, man. I'm all right. My name is Adams Desir. You know what I'm saying? Also known as the Panini guy from the Wawa commercial. I'm doing good, man.
That's good, man. How's 2021 treating you?
2021 has been treating me very, very nicely lately. 2020, obviously, we all had a horrible, disgusting year. And then, towards the end of 2020, I was working at Amazon, slaving, all that kind of stuff. And then once 2021 came, and I booked the TV show, everything has just been
uphill.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah.
I know I introduced you as the Panini guy. Has people noticed you in the street?
Yes, actually, people have noticed me. When I was working out in the parks or whatever, friends of friends recognized me. They were like, "Hey, I saw your commercial on the Wawa on the YouTube," and I was like, "Yeah, thank you, man. I appreciate it. It's funny because I think, I'm more, I guess, recognized now for the Wawa commercial as opposed to the TV show. But it's cool.
Right.
I'll take whatever I can get.
Any recognition is good.
Yeah.
I mean, as long as it's positivity, of course.
Yeah.
But it's kind of hard to notice somebody, especially when they have a mask in the commercial. Like, how do you know that's me?
Right.
And that's like you pulled your mask down, like, hey, I'm going to Panini.
Yeah. That's a good point. I'm actually shocked that people were actually able to recognize me even with the mask on. I did get some comments on like, oh, you should have did it without the mask, but obviously, COVID and the way production was set up, I literally had to have the mask on. So, but it was still cool. Okay. It was still dope.
So let's stay on that real quick. How did that come about for you? Like, how'd you get into the commercial? How was it?
So,
audition.
Right. My agent, who I had since September of 2020. I had him and he sent me the audition. I honestly, not that I didn't think I was going to book it right after Bowl, but I ended up just submitting the audition like any other audition. Granted, they have gotten better over the months of me having an agent.
Okay.
My quality has gotten better, acting has gotten better, technique has gotten better. So that's pretty much it. I audition, they like me, and that's pretty much how the game goes.
Now the audition, like, how long did that take you to do that? It was like a 1, 2, 3 process. Come in, say the lines. All right, I'm out. Let me know what happens.
Honestly, that's what would happen in a more so like a live audition.
Right, okay.
But self-tapes, you can literally do like 30 takes.
Oh, this was a self-tape?
Yeah, self-tape audition at home. Okay. It was at my boy's house. His name is Jimmy Burnett. He pretty much helped me with like a lot of my self-tapes, including like with Bull, Wawa commercial, and the other, TV show. And that's pretty much it. Like, it's a lot of like technique. I used to self-tape without like a blue backdrop. I used to self-tape without a ring light, and my quality was trash. Like it was, Jesus help me, Lord. It was trash, but you get a nice solid blue backdrop or green or gray. You get a decent ring light, kind of like what you guys have over here. Nice solid camera. That's pretty much the basics, and that's pretty much how I.
No, I never understood the backdrop. What's the purpose of a backdrop?
It's just to eliminate any distractions in the back. So like casting directors,
we can't use like a blank wall.
No, yeah, you can have a blank wall, but some agents / like casting directors, sometimes they'll have a specific color or like they'll have a specific backdrop for you to use. So like for example, my agent usually sends me auditions, and they usually only want me to use blue backdrops. Okay. Other casting directors might want gray, some might want green, some might just want, as long as it's a nice neutral background where there's no distractions, you're pretty much solid. So it's a really it's flip flop with that kind of game. Yeah.
So why you chose acting?
All right. So this is where I'm going to kind of sound cliche. I was 13, maybe 12 years old, and I was watching Prince of Bel-Air. Obviously, you know what I'm saying? And I saw Will Smith, and I was like, I want to do that. So that's pretty much what started it. Okay. When I was like around that age, and then ever since then, I've been kind of trying to pursue it. Quite a few failed attempts growing up. I tried to get my parents to help me get into it. That was a fail because people were scammers. They made me pay like $500 for like a photo shoot. I thought I was a star. I thought I was freaking gonna be the next freaking star of the world.
Right.
And then my parents were like, "Is this all we got to pay?" And then they were like, "Yeah, no, that's it." And then we came to the meeting, and then they were like, "Yeah, just to get your son in the database for agents and casting directors, it's going to cost another $500." My parents were like, "You're scammers." So it was just a whole lot of like attempts when I was young that I was like, you know what, I'll just figure it out when I get older. So that's what I pretty much had to do.
Okay. Now, how supportive were your parents for you when it comes to acting? Because like a Haitian household, if it ain't really school, like
yeah.
So tell us about how it was like supportive of them.
So my mom was always the strongest supporter.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? My dad was like, he supported, but he was pretty like traditional. He was like, just get a nice job and, do what you got to do, pay the bills and move out of here, do what you got to do. But my mom was very, very supportive. Like she would always like send my skits out to like the family group chats. She would always like share with her friends at work. She would always tell her, her work friends about me. And then when I booked the commercial, she would always tell them, hey, my son's in the commercial. And she would, she was like my PR kind of person for like everything that I did, including my skits and all that kind of stuff. So, yeah.
So where has your creativity come from?
Honestly,
was it start as a young age? You watching Fresh Prince, or was it like before that, or maybe after that?
My creativity didn't really start necessarily. My acting inspiration started when I was like 12, 13 years old. Okay. But then me creating my own stuff, that didn't start until I want to say college. And it didn't start until I got my own apartment and, I was alone because I was an RA. So I lived by myself and I made my first ever real skit when I was alone. So I guess it really just comes from me being alone because I'm an only child. Okay. So like I get really, really bored. So like growing up, I used to literally go on YouTube videos and just learn how to do, random stuff like card tricks, coin tricks, just I'm bored. Or like I would go Xbox. So whenever I'm alone, I try to find something stimulating for me to do. And that's what started in college when I got my own room, got my own apartment, and I started to create my own videos from there.
Okay.
Yeah.
So 12, 13, you started taking acting serious.
Yeah.
Now, this was high school.
Well, actually, yeah, a little bit before high school, yeah. A
little before high school? Okay.
Yeah.
But high school, that's when you actually was doing plays?
Yeah, that's when I actually started.
What was your first play?
It's funny you ask it. So my first play that I was actually casted in was called The Music Man with Miss Dooley in Robert High School.
Shout out to Miss Dooley.
Shout out to Miss Dooley. But I wasn't able to make it because my grandparents' funeral were on those exact performance days. So I wasn't able to make it. So like technically that was my first production that I was in, but I didn't get to perform on the actual performance days, which sucked. So Music Man was my first ever production, but I didn't really perform until like, I want to say 2 years later when I was in 42nd Street, I believe.
What's that about? 42nd Street.
That's a great question. So I it's been a while, but I think I played a character called Pat Dennings, and I played the secret lover of, I forgot the character's name, but I mean, Shanice, right? Right, yeah. I played her secret lover in the play, and that's pretty much all I remember. Honestly, yeah, it was a while, like, but I just know that I was a secret lover undercover. I was a side dude, and she was like trying to like finesse.
Nothing wrong being a side dude sometimes.
Yeah, honest. I mean, there is something wrong with being a side dude. Continue next question.
This guy, man. But so all right, after that 42nd Street, I'm assuming once you got into college. What school you went to in college?
I went to William Patterson University.
Okay, so I'm assuming in college that's when you're like, you know what, I can really be on hands with this because I'm in a room by myself. I'm an RA, like you said.
Yeah.
Now you being a only child, probably playing the part now because like, damn, I've been on by myself all these years. Now I gotta start thinking.
Yeah.
Now you thinking outside the box.
Yeah.
Right. So what was the first thing you created that was like, yo, you know what, might as well keep going with this. Because everybody's either loving it, or they just fake loving it, but they want me to keep doing it, so I'm gonna keep doing it.
Yeah, I think the first thing that I ever really created was that video that I made, and it was just about, the caption was when when you're home alone or when you're without bae or something like that, something basic like that, and it was just a real typical video of just me, recording my room, and there's nobody in it, and it's just me, and I'm playing sad music, and I'm crying in a corner with "It's Been a Long Day," that song playing in the background, and I'm just in the corner just crying. It's a throwback. I can't even find the video, but that was the first thing that I created, and I liked it, and I was like, I'm gonna keep on going with this. But alongside that, I did a whole bunch of like student films in college too.
Okay.
So that also helped me with my creative space. Yeah.
So outside of Fresh Prince, who else was inspiration for you as far as acting?
My inspirations didn't really come until later, but I do want to say another inspiration that I had would be someone like Kevin Hart. I mean, I've read a lot of his books. I've seen most of his documentaries, and his story is actually pretty like, touching. To see from someone who literally came from nowhere, poverty. Dad was a drug addict. Mom died early, but he still is a freaking star.
Right.
So when I look at that, and I look at my background isn't as harsh as his, and I thank the Lord for that. That I'm blessed in that way. And so, if he can do it, then I know that I can do it.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because I'm blessed by God. I have both parents, love each other. We live with each other, all that kind of stuff. I eat, shower. I have a roof over my head. It's not really much excuse for me. You know what I mean?
Right.
So yeah, Kevin Hart would be another one. Chadwick Boseman was another inspiration for me. Yeah, his work was really, really dope, and that's pretty much just a few of them for right now. Yeah.
Right. Now, I know you mentioned Kevin Hart as being, inspiration and the limelight. Based off the commercial success that you're receiving now, do you think you could be able to not maintain it, but live on that level of, oh, that's the guy right there, that's Adams, that's, stop taking a picture.
As in, like, would I be able to
when you reach that plateau of success in your career?
Like, would I be able to?
Would you be comfortable living that lifestyle?
Oh yeah. Can
you handle it? Do you think so? Do you don't care about people being in business?
I think I was born for that.
You sure?
Yeah. Okay. Because I genuinely I know what comes with acting. I know what comes with being on TV and all that kind of stuff. So like me being afraid of that or nervous of that, it's kind of.
Say this shit now. Makes you know.
I mean, I know it's probably going to get tough. Like maybe I might, I'm going to have a family and I'm going to want some privacy for them. But in terms of me, I like attention.
Oh, you do?
I do like attention. So that's where I feel like it might not be as much of a challenge for me because I like that. Like I want people to come up to me and be like, "Oh my God, you're Adams from the blah, blah, blah." Like I want that. So yeah, I don't see that being an issue for me. Much of an issue, I should say. Yeah.
Can you fight?
Look, I'm not gonna cap. I don't know if I really know how to fight, like technically wise, but I know how to wrestle. I used to wrestle in high school, and I know that, maybe to like an average dude who doesn't know how to grapple or fight or whatever, I might have an upper hand. Mm-hmm. But if I know how to fight, I don't know. But I've never really been in that predicament for me to really.
No, the reason I say that because you say like the attention. So it's like, let's say if you was like Tariq from Power, like, and they're killing him on social media based on how he's acting, and they might really want to put their hands on him, right? So let's say that were to happen to you, just in case a crazy fan might come up to you like, yo, and smack the shit at you. And they can wrestle. How would you like?
Well, I mean, at that point, then I would have to do what I have to do. I mean, there's no backing down. I mean, I'm gonna be.
You'll back down.
Yeah, I don't see myself backing down. Only like, especially if it's like self-defense. Like if you're coming at me and you're trying to slap me, I'm not gonna, let you just get away with that.
But then headline reads Adams Desir.
I mean, headlines are always gonna try to badmouth.
No, but it really happened though. Like you really got knocked the fuck out, and then that was the headline.
Oh.
Yeah. But the attention, that's what you want.
Good attention. I mean, at the end of the day, so at the end of the day, like, of course I want like the good attention, you know what I'm saying? I don't want to be known as the dude that got knocked out like Money Mayweather.
Of course.
What you call it? But I would act accordingly. You know what I'm saying? Right. But there's always going to be people that's going to badmouth you because literally, one, I'm black.
Because you're doing good. That's why.
Yeah, I mean, you know, I'm doing good. I'm a successful. Well, I mean, I'm achieving success as a black man.
You are.
Right. I thank you. And you know, if you look at Kevin Hart, like when he was asked to host the freaking Oscars, they freaking got tweets all the way from
that was crazy.
All the way in his old days of making fun of, you know, a certain demographic, and it was like, for what? Right. You know what I'm saying? So that's always gonna happen. So, but I'm just gonna have to take it as it goes. But at the end of the day, I know that that's the lifestyle that I want to have. Okay. Yeah.
Let's stay back. Let's go back on the positive side now. Not be negative.
Yeah.
They might come at me for asking you that question. Spider-Man. Is that like one of your favorite characters?
So
growing up as a kid?
Yeah.
I had seen Mano. It was I found Mano.
All right.
Yeah, I did a little skit.
Yeah.
Oh, that's Adams. Right?
Yeah.
So it's like Spider-Man your alter ego wannabe? What's that?
So
is that based off you being in a room by yourself too much time and you just want to be, I'm Spider-Man?
Honestly speaking, my dream within a dream is to play Miles Morales one day as, like, you know, the Black Spider-Man for a Marvel movie production.
Right.
And so me doing that is just me pretty much showing that I appreciate the story of Miles Morales, you know, just getting attention that, hey, you know, whatever may come of this, because I actually am, I just recently produced my own short little series of me being Miles Morales. Okay. So I got, you know, a videographer together, I got some actors together, and we actually just shot it like this past week, actually. So that should be coming out hopefully within the next few weeks. But it's just my own way of exploring my creative side, like you said. So, like I used to do skits back in the day. However, I'm not done creating. It's just now I'm making it more cinematic. Okay. So in terms of the whole Spider-Man thing, Spider-Man growing up was my favorite superhero ever. Like I had Spider-Man sneakers, I had Spider-Man sweatshirts, I had Spider-Man sheets, Spider-Man cassette tapes. Like I used to literally watch the same movie every week. Like I'd never watched it before. So yeah, he's my favorite superhero. And when I found out that there was a Black Spider-Man, like a real one, I was like, oh, I'm gonna see where this goes. So it's just, you know, me exploring that creative space, and if it gets picked up somewhere or whatever, then that'll be awesome. But yeah, that's pretty much it.
It will.
Yeah.
It will get picked up.
Thank you.
Now, did you want to get bit by a spider when you was younger too? To see if it really was true?
Look, I'm not even gonna cap. When I was younger, I did think about, like, what if that, like, is that possible? Yeah. Like, is that possible? But, you know, then I grew up and I was like, nah, that's not actually real. But I've always wanted Spider-Man powers, if I could pick. Right. Yeah.
Well, why not?
I mean, it'd be dope.
Shoot webs out.
It'd be dope.
Climb the walls.
Yeah.
I mean, hang upside down.
Be invisible, because that's Miles Morales' power.
My nephew actually likes the black version of Spider-Man.
Did he watch Spider-Verse?
Probably did.
Yeah. So, I watched the movie like 2-3 times.
Plays the game too, so.
Yeah. Oh, I beat the game like at least 4 times.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm a total nerd about that.
That's fine.
Yeah.
You was the only child. You were in college dorm room by yourself.
Yeah.
A lot of time to yourself, like you said. It's cool.
Yeah.
We'll stay off that topic. Let's get back to the creating side though. Content. Why'd you stop doing skits?
All right. So look. Right.
Because we talked about this a little bit off camera, and then
yeah,
I didn't like your answer.
So I mean, there's multiple reasons why I stopped doing skits. One of them was because I decided to focus solely on my acting. Because ever since January, I booked like 2 or 3 gigs right after Bull. Right. And I was really just trying to focus on that. I was like, oh, well, I got a ball rolling. I want to get it going. So that's that. And then there's the really looking at my content, and I realized that I was posting generic stuff. Okay. Generic stuff that anybody and everybody was already doing. And I didn't like that. I didn't like it. and I wasn't really going anywhere with it. I was hitting a wall. So in terms of, I was still trying to find, because I've been doing skits since I was like in 2017 when I graduated Willie P. And I wasn't really original. Okay. You know, a lot of the big time people now, they have original content, original stuff, and I was struggling even up until the most recent to find my own voice, to find my own niche, my own lane in the creative space in terms of social media. So that's pretty much another reason why like I took a pause on that and just decided to focus solely on acting, because I was actually succeeding in what I actually love to do. Because skits for me was always just a way for me to get to acting, you know, to create my own fan base and to make my own work and to get booked by other people based off of my fan base, you know, that whole influencer stuff. But it just wasn't working out for me. So what I'm working on right now is working on stuff that I actually feel passionate about, like the Spider-Man project that I'm going to have coming out in probably hopefully a few weeks, and just making it more tailored. And now I'm working on you know, slowly transitioning into original work instead of me just doing, because you know how like you see skits like, oh, when Bay is this or when Bay is that, or when your friend is out, or when your friend is at a party, or when you're at a party, and all that kind of stuff, all generic stuff. Like everybody and their mothers can do that. So it's just me taking a pause on my creative space and actually finding out what I actually want to do. So I didn't really stop creating. I just stopped making generic skits.
He changed his answer up too, by the way.
I didn't see that one coming until now. Yeah. So, but yeah, that's the honest and true, thought out answer.
I respect it.
Yeah.
I respect it. Now, the show Bull, right? For those who not too familiar with the show, what is that show? The concept of that show is like?
So it's literally a legal drama series. It's based off of, you know, lawyers who really just take it case by case each episode, and they pretty much solve each client's issue. My issue just so happened to be, I think, if I'm not mistaken, I think it was the first ever 2-part series for that show. But yeah, it's pretty much like a legal drama series. So it's like, you know, cops, lawyers, all that kind of stuff, drugs, or like, you know, abuse, all that kind of stuff.
And your character was
Leo Craddock,
and he killed somebody allegedly.
So he never really killed somebody. He was accused of killing somebody, but initially the real issue was that his father was wrongfully arrested as a kid when he was like 12 years old for something he didn't do. And then years later, he's basically coming back grown. He knows his stuff. He's been studying the law, and he's been working to try to get his father out of prison along with the lawyers. So that's pretty much like the plot of the story. And then, you know, it goes back and forth where I get accused of killing the cop who arrested my father. And then it's just a whole nother mess. But then the lawyers, you know, I mean, if you watch the show, I don't want to spoil it too much, but that's pretty much the plot. Yeah.
And you being on that show, that was like big for you because like you on your IG, you had your own trailer. It wasn't treated as somebody like an extra. You know what I mean? And it was your own personal trailer. It didn't have a lot of stuff into it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You probably had 2 water bottles and stuff. But how did that make you feel? Like, yo, all right, I'm here.
Right.
Like I'm here right now.
So it definitely felt like a whole new transition because for a long time I've been doing student films. You know, I've been doing stuff for free, where, you know, I had to go out of pocket for things. So like when I would do a student film in New York, because I used to do a lot of stuff for Columbia University students who needed actors for their film projects. And, you know, they'd be like, hey, come out to, you know, our university around this time, all that kind of stuff, and make sure you get this and that and this and that. So, you know, I'm just so used to, all right, I got to get my own haircut. All right, I got to get my own wardrobe. All right, I got to get my own transportation. I got to get my own everything, just to show up. And then, you know, they film, they shoot me, and then that's it, you know. And then I add that onto my reel, my resume, and that was that. But then, you know, doing that for years and years, and then finally transitioning into a place where, you know, because I've done extra work also. Right. And extra work, I'll tell you this, my experiences with doing extra work has not always been the best.
You know, you didn't get a trailer.
I didn't. There was you weren't even a thought. Like if you didn't show up, nobody would call you. Right. You know what I'm saying? Like nobody would call you. Nobody would, you know, check on you, whatever. So it was definitely a huge transition because that was my real ever TV debut ever. So being treated like a real guest
Right.
was a real experience. And I've never had, my own space, because usually when I get on set somewhere, I would have to change somewhere in the corner or like change somewhere or like get my hair done in amongst the whatever. But everything was like, my name was on certain things, you know what I'm saying? Like it was just a whole different
feeling for it.
It was a blessing.
Right.
It was the production crew they were so awesome. They were easy to work with. And they were so nice. And that was pretty much what that was like, and I appreciate that experience.
That's dope. That's dope to see, like, especially somebody from the town. You know what I'm saying? Not saying I know you, but it's still dope because we from the same town. And seeing people like that grow and do what you're trying to do is dope, bro. So
thank you.
Kudos to you, man.
Thank you, man.
Keep up the good work, man.
I'm trying out here, man. I'm trying.
Now, Bad Trip, we talked about Bad Trip too. You said you didn't know that was even a movie. Like it was just like you thought he was just a random dude until afterwards. Like, oh shit.
Yeah.
That's who. Oh boy.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Now you say you're having a bad day. Why? That day. You told me you were having a bad day.
No, I didn't have a bad day. I had a.
You was having a bad day. You said.
I said I had an acting class that day.
It was a bad day because you caught you off guard.
Oh well, right. So I thought in regards to that, I meant like on a normal day.
Okay.
I probably would have recognized Eric Andre and Little Rel, who was standing right next to him.
Right.
But because there was a lot going on and I'm already in New York City, and when I'm in New York, I don't really like to, linger. Right. I like to get in and get out, unless if I'm there to chill and hang out. But at the time, I was just trying to go home. So when these two dudes came up to me and was like, "Hey, who's I forgot what her name was, Maria or something like that. Who's Maria? Where's Maria at?"
Oh, yeah, I was like, his love interest.
Yeah, I was like, who the freak is Maria? And why? And if you're gonna ask me who's someone, at least give me a last name. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So in my head, I was like, okay, so these two dudes are just distracting me from actually getting robbed in broad daylight. That's why I held my book bag on super tight, because I was paranoid, because I looked around a little bit to see if there's anybody behind me, and it was just so. In terms of that was what I meant by having like a bad day.
Right.
But if it was a regular day, I would have recognized them. But because there was a lot going on, I didn't really know who they was, and I was just trying to leave.
Yeah, that movie was hilarious. And then I came across that scene, like, oh shit, dude from Rahway. Yeah, at the time I said the dude from Rahway. Respectfully, put respect on your name.
No, yeah, you go.
But then after that, that's when did that movie drop? I don't know the year that dropped.
So it's funny because that movie been dropped. It's just that it just hit Netflix recently. Okay. But that movie released 10 months prior to it hitting Netflix. And I made a YouTube video. I mean, granted, I know I don't have the biggest fan base, so not a lot of people are going to probably know. But I did address this, that I was in a movie with Eric Andre called Bad Trip, like 10 months prior to hitting Netflix. And then when it hit Netflix, that's when everybody started to be like, oh my gosh, Adams, I saw you on Bad Trip. And I was just like, nice. I said this already. So so that's when the whole, my social media started to go a little bananas. But I was like, yeah, this is old news to me, guys. This movie has been out for like almost a year already.
Right.
Yeah.
Pretty funny, hilarious.
Yeah.
You being an actor, right? Do you think you like get behind the scene, like being directing? Because I know you say you produce. You producing your own little mini with the Spider-Man thing. Will you like write scripts and all that too eventually?
Yeah. I already started. I've been writing for like a little bit, but nothing too crazy. But for this one, I actually wrote this out. Right. So I wrote it out. I produced it. I hired a videographer and all that kind of stuff. And I got actors together, directed it. And so I am looking to, like, in the future, getting into creating on the cinematic field where it's like more legit for like TV shows or movies. I do want to produce eventually for projects like that. But yeah, I've been kind of sort of doing it for a little while already. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, because I'm trying to tap into that bag, the whole writing bag. You know what I'm saying? I'm learning a little bit, but eventually I'm gonna be one of the big guys on the screen with you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. It's listen, it's there's no limit, and I think that honestly speaking, humbly speaking, I should say, that I don't come from a family of connections. I don't come from anybody
yeah.
who's in the business. I don't come from anybody who has any real power in the entertainment industry, and I was still able to figure it out. So I mean, if I could do it, anybody in the world could do this.
Yeah, facts.
You know what I'm saying?
The resources out there.
Yeah.
I mean, information's out there, so we just gotta use it and apply it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I think that stems from the whole COVID situation, because like we all was home. You know what I'm saying? Unless you was outside.
No, I was home. I was home. But that's when I found it's funny because that's when I found the most success.
Yeah.
I've never been on a TV show until COVID really settled in. I never was on a commercial until COVID, because I was just like, all right, listen.
And why do you think is that?
Honestly, I mean, I think this is just the way that I came up, you know, or the way that I grew up was that, like, you know, obviously we have our weak moments, but a lot of times when I see a problem, I'm not going to sit there and cry about it. When I got my agent, it was when COVID was still hot topic all over the news, because I got my agent like maybe the summer right after COVID was a thing. So I signed up with him in September, and that was when, you know, it was supposed to spike or all that kind of stuff. And I was like, damn, I wish I could have done this earlier, you know, when COVID wasn't a thing, because now that COVID is a thing, now that when I'm on set, I have to get tested every other day, even when I'm not shooting. So like for Bull, I had to go on set all the way from Rahway to New York to go there, take the NJ Transit, take the subway all the way to Brooklyn, and then get tested for like literally 3 minutes, and then you leave. And I had to go all the way back home, just like that. So like, you know, I wish that I could have done this earlier. However, I feel like maybe now was like a perfect time for me to go stupid hard on what I want to do, because obviously, you know, we really don't know how long COVID is going to be here. So I'm not going to sit here and wait, make it work. And that's pretty much that. So like, I don't know. I think it was just like a do or die kind of thing, because I was working at Amazon and I had nothing going for me. Nothing. I was working at Amazon. I was still trying to make videos. I was still trying to, you know, make ends meet, all that kind of stuff.
Just wasn't working.
I was just working part-time at Amazon, because I left my full-time job so that I can get with my agent, so that I can make more time during the day for gigs and work overnight. But, you know, I was like really like, you know, itching for money. And I was like, oh my God, this is really tough. But then January came. I was like, I'm just going to make it do what it do. And that was that.
And so now you like self-employed pretty much.
Well, I'm not really self-employed. Like I have a better job now. I left Amazon because I wanted to focus on Bull. I wanted to focus on Bull for that, because I was booked for that whole month and a week. And I was like, freaking, I'm not going back. Because once I got the news, I got the news when I was at Amazon, when I just clocked in. My agent called me and was like, yo, bro, check your phone. And I was like, okay, because when your agent calls you, it's a big deal. And I saw that I got the offer letter for the role, and I was like, oh, it's a party. I went to the bathroom and called my friend, all that kind of stuff, and I didn't go back to Amazon. I used up all my PTO. I used up all my, you know, time off hours, all that kind of stuff. And eventually I got the resignation letter. The letter that, you know, that you get fired from and all that kind of stuff. And I didn't look back, and I just used the rest of the money that I had to focus on traveling back and forth to Bull. And then in the meantime, I was still applying to other jobs so that after Bull I could, you know, work. Because, you know,
so you do have a regular job.
I do have a regular job. I work overnight at a hospital. And but it's, you know, it's way better than Amazon, because I'm not, you know, like breaking my back, throwing packages every second. But I have a better job now, and now I'm better than I was before. You know what I'm saying? So that was pretty much the huge shift that I had from like 2020 and going into 2021.
Yeah, because based on what you just said, I thought you quit your job like completely.
Well, I mean, I did quit.
No,
Amazon,
like quit. Like you was working for a regular job. That's all that was.
Oh, no. I'm not. I'm not making that.
No, based off that whole speech you just gave me.
Yeah, no. I'm not foolish. I'm not in a place where I can do that.
You think it's foolish to quit your job?
It's not. It depends on where you're at in life. Like, obviously, like, yeah, if you're good with money and you have a nice savings, then, you know, if you can afford it, then you can go acting full time, see what you can do. And then when your money is running low and you're not booking anything, then I'd say you probably should get a job. But right now, I'm not in a place where, you know.
So how was your parents were, you know, Haitian household? Mm-hmm. How was your parents when you decided to quit your job to?
They didn't care. They didn't really. I mean, I didn't really. I mean, I'm a grown man, so like I wasn't really gonna be like, oh, can I quit my job? You know, it wasn't really like a, I can't believe you quit your job kind of thing. I just did it. They didn't really know.
So they were supportive, pretty much.
They were. I mean, they didn't really know because Amazon is Amazon. Like it's a slave job anyway. So no one's really gonna be like, oh my gosh, I can't believe you quit Amazon.
So what happens if you tell your parents, hey, I quit my job to focus on acting?
Nothing they can do. I mean, my mom would just be like, if anything, you know, she would, you know, she's a very faithful woman. She believes in God and all that kind of stuff. So she would be like, okay, well, you know, I'll keep you in my prayer. I hope that God guides you in this thing, you know, that kind of thing.
So you should quit your job. Because, like you said, Kevin Hart, I mean, even though his mom helped him with the rent, I mean, for a year, he went hard and on his craft.
Right.
So if inspiration here we speaking, right?
I mean, I would love to, because granted, I really don't like what I'm doing at my job, because it's one of those. I don't think nobody does. Yeah, I really don't like what I'm doing because I have to wash old people, and it's not fun doing that. But I mean, who knows? Maybe I lied. When I book something else and it's substantial, then I'll definitely quit my job. But as of right now, I don't have anything currently lined up right now. I mean, I do have this other TV show that I shot for that should be coming out sometime, probably next year, but that's about it. So
is it on a big network?
It's on Apple TV.
Okay.
So that's gonna come out next year, hopefully. So as of right now, I'm still working because income, right. But I'm not in a place where I can really quit my job just yet. Okay. Yeah, or else I won't be able to, eat or like go out and stuff.
I think your mom will feed you.
Yeah, but I want to go out, have some fun, So well, not basically. I mean, I want to be able to because I just got a car. Okay. So I just got a car,
Yeah, I saw the Benz outside.
What you call? No, but I mean, I still have to, because I do plan on moving out soon. Okay. So I really do need, that kind of income coming in, just so I can, live my life. Because acting is my life, but I still, because my boy Jeremy, he mentors me in this whole thing. He told me that he used to be obsessed with acting. Like every day was like, oh my gosh, acting. But then he realized like, yo, acting will come when it comes, but you also got to live your life too. So there's that balance that that I'm working on having.
Are you good at keeping balance with outside work and not outside work, your personal life and work?
Yeah, I mean, I think I'm doing better now. I used to do a whole bunch of stuff that was not productive, but it kept me busy, but it wasn't productive. Like I was involved in I'm ashamed to say it, but those like pyramid schemes, all that kind of stuff. So I was like, you can do it, you can do it, you can do it. I was just one of those guys and
pyramid.
Yeah, I was.
There was nothing wrong with that if you was the next one up.
It was nothing wrong with it.
If I was the next nigga on that list, I'm getting 18 people, whatever it was at the time, to follow me.
Yeah, no, it didn't work like that for me.
It just asks when it's one of your friends and they're the next one up and they can't get that back. I cashed out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It is what it is though.
But yeah,
I
was doing that. And I try to make other ways to make acting work. So I try to use that to give me the income that I needed so that I didn't need a job so I could act whenever I want. Right. That was the idea. But it never worked for me. I never really profited from any of those things. So I was involved in doing a whole lot of things, and that was just, I've even denied an opportunity one time to be in an off-Broadway production because I was like, you know what, I'm going to believe in this pyramid scheme, and I believe it's going to take me out the ghetto and all that kind of stuff, and it was just the stupidest thing I ever did. So I am doing better now, where I'm just focusing on acting and my job, and that's it. Like I'm not doing anything else because anything else, I know myself. Like everything else is like if I add anything to my plate, I'm gonna spread myself out way too thin, and I know myself, and I cannot do that again. So I think I'm doing better when it comes to balance. Just work, acting. Anything outside of that, you're not really getting much attention. Yeah.
What's up, man?
Yeah.
So you said you got the Spider-Man coming out soon.
Yeah.
The show on Apple TV next year.
Yeah, next year or maybe sometime this year.
What else you got for 2021?
That's about it. I mean, honestly, I really don't have. I mean, I do plan on, taking this Spider-Man thing, and I really want to take it far because, like,
it's a series.
It's not like a series right now.
Okay.
It's more like an experiment.
Okay.
And it's just me putting out random points of Miles Morales' life, but like in my perspective or like how I would write it. And I just want to see how it goes. And if it does well, then maybe I might make it into a miniseries. And then if that goes well, I might make a short film. And then from there, if that really goes well, then I might start to create my own kind of idea from scratch and be original.
Stop saying if.
Right. Yeah, right. When? I'm gonna continue saying that. When?
Yeah, man. Stop saying if.
Yeah.
Be a scene vocabulary. So much of stuff, man.
You're right.
If you need a villain,
don't play.
What do you mean?
Don't play, because I will cast you, and you're gonna have to work.
Listen, my manager right there. So listen, if you need a villain, I'm the guy, man.
Okay.
Made my debut on Spider-Man. I don't know what I'm gonna say, but I do a head nod. Shit, you know what I mean?
All right, you're on camera, so this is gonna be documented. So like,
it'll be out there. I'm gonna make my word.
All right. Because I was looking for people to play a villain, but I really
see. I said the word if. We need a villain, right? I mean, man.
Okay, I'm gonna hold you to it.
All right, man. I'm a man of my word, like I said.
All right. Keep that same energy.
Always. You know what I mean? But Adam's Desir, Panini Man, Panini Guy, Spider-Man. Appreciate you stopping by.
Thank you for having me, man.
No problem, man. Keep continuing the great work.
Mm-hmm.
For real. I mean, keep your foot on the gas. Keep being great. Keep being an icon out here in Rahway. Represent for the town. The town's behind you. I ain't gonna speak for everybody in the town, but me, you got my support 100% for everything that you do, bro.
Thank you, man. I appreciate you, bro.
You know what I mean?
All right.
All right, bro. With that being said, that episode Chop It Up. I'm your guy, Mr. Mark. Don't forget to Mr. when you say Mark. And shout out to my old stopping ground. You know what I'm saying? If y'all know where we at right now. So appreciate y'all. Tune in to next time. Peace.